welcome back to Coaches at Crown Brew Getting Coffee. Got another great guest today, Mr. Ray Kauling, longtime high school football coach in Southern Illinois and now an assistant coach back as the OC at Centralia High School. And we're going to have a great conversation. I want to thank Crown Brew for letting us do this today. I want to thank Ross and Abby for being here and putting this together. I want to encourage you to look into Swinford Wedding Videography and Photography. Ross handles the video and Abby handles the photography, and if you've got a wedding coming up or know someone that does, they'll take amazing care of you just like they do me every single week. You can learn more about that whole process on their website. They'll put up on the screen. I want to thank my buddies at Adrenaline Fundraising, Jeff and Matt, for all they do to help coaches raise money. They are the best, and I hope you're, if you have a need like that, look them up. Information there on the screen for you. And my buddy Tony Gooch at Marion Plumbing for your commercial and residential plumbing needs. Tony's an awesome human being and a great plumber and has a great staff. And several of those guys were students of mine and players of mine that are on his staff. So I know it's a special group. So Tony Gooch, Marion Plumbing. My guest, as I said, is Ray Kauling. I'm going to run through his bio, which is really dang impressive. Ray has been a head football coach for 21 seasons at 3 schools, Mater Dei, Centralia, and Trenton Wesclin. He is currently back as the OC, as I said, at Centralia High School. His overall head coaching record is 120-88. His teams have made the playoffs 10 times, including second place finish in 2006 and a semifinal finish in 2008, both of those at Mater Dei. He was named the Southern Illinois Coach of the Year 3 times, the Belleville News Democrat Coach of the Year 3 times, the St. Louis Metropolitan Football Coaches Association Coach of the Year 2 times, inducted into the Illinois High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame in 2025. Congratulations on that. He has served on the IHSA Advisory Board. He has served on numerous all-state committees and a District 7 rep for the IHSA. He has coached numerous Illinois high school all-star teams. He served as an AD as well at Trenton Wesclin for 7 years. And I love this tidbit. Before his hiring at Centralia, their record over the previous 10 years was 15-76. As head coach at Centralia, he ended a 35-game losing streak in his first game. And you beat that night?
The Salem Wildcats.
Oh, got it. My own Salem Wildcats. And won the school's first playoff game while he was there. They had won in 38 years. So
you knew that was against.
I know what that was against, man. I'm well aware of that. Yes, that was against me. Yeah. But anyway, you're my guest, so we'll go ahead and get that out there. But a warm welcome, and thank you for being here, my brother and coaching, and my good friend Ray Kauling, man. It's so good to have you. Thanks you for being here.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited about this.
Let's talk some coaching and football.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about your background. Go ahead and start me off. Growing up, where you're from, family, all that kind of stuff.
I grew up in Bessemer, Illinois, which is between Carlisle and Breese. For those people that don't know, it's a town of about 1,100 kids, 1,100 people, I should say, not kids.
And they go to high school.
They go to high school to Breese Central.
Okay.
And then I went to Mater Dei. I went to a Catholic grade school in Bessemer. It was called St. Anthony's at the time. The building's no longer there.
Yeah.
But then went to Mater Dei, Catholic high school in Breese. I was on the first football team there to win a playoff game.
Oh, wow.
Back when we played on Wednesday night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We beat Nashville on a Wednesday night and then turned around, beat Sparta, which I think you had just left. You left the year before, I think.
That's Dave Peck's year. That was 94.
Yeah.
No.
93 would have been 92 would have been football.
That's right. That's right. 90. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But so won that, was lucky to be that, and then played football, basketball, baseball, all growing up as a kid, with all the games in town, around the lots, wherever you could play. Got to high school and played basketball for 1 year, and then pretty much focused on the football from there.
Yeah. What positions you play?
In football?
Yeah.
I played defensive tackle and offensive line.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Any coaches early in your life that kind of maybe tweaked that interest or sparked that interest to be a coach someday?
Probably didn't know it at the time to be a coach.
Yeah.
I didn't know I wanted to coach. I kind of got written down here things to talk about as we get going, but I didn't know I wanted to coach till I started coaching.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you think you were going to be?
I didn't know. I just liked. I thought maybe like sports information director.
Okay.
I liked the AD job as I did it. I liked that thought. Something with sports. Not sure I wanted to coach.
I got you.
As I look back on it, it was probably slapping me in the face over and over and over that this is what you should be doing.
Yeah.
But I just never got to that. You have influences, as you go through life, and obviously my parents were my biggest influences, and my dad, growing up, was all over sports.
Yeah.
I mean, not just baseball, basketball, football, but like an outdoorsman. I mean, he was a hunter. He loved goose and duck hunting, and we went dove hunting and deer hunting. And you know, September 1st, first day of dove hunting, was like a national holiday in my family at home.
Yeah.
You know, where everybody went, and you could start shooting at noon, and you know, you weren't allowed to hunt in the morning. Well, we were in there, and everybody's watching their watches, you know, ready for noon, and then here we go.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you still hunt?
I do deer hunt, yes. I spend a little bit of time in the woods after we're done with football and kind of reset. And, it serves a different purpose now than it did then.
Sure.
You know, then it was to do things with my dad.
Yeah.
Now it's to reset a little bit.
Yeah. I gave up hunting when my dad passed away. We were quail and pheasant hunters, and a lot of those birds are gone now anyway, but I miss that. I miss that time with my dad. Yeah, I kind of gave up golf when he passed away also. So I lost two pretty, I think, important ways of getting away from the game after he died in 2005. So I think I had trouble filling that void a little bit outside of the game, having a hobby. I lost two right there. But it's important. I think that's a cool thing you had with your dad. Do you have siblings?
I have a sister, yes.
Is she an athlete?
No. But she was actually, when she was in college, she went to SEMO. And she was the manager of the volleyball team when she was there. So because she had friends that were playing. Yeah. So she was involved with sports. She goes to everything at Mater Dei. Yet they're still living in Breeze. Her and her husband and their two kids, they go to all the athletic events. But she just was never a big athlete. Let's put it that way.
I mean, I assume that your big rival was the other hometown team.
Yes.
Central was your rival.
Yes.
You dominate back then.
Yeah, when I was coaching, we lost to them once. Yeah. And once in the regular game, and we lost to them in the playoffs, actually, once. The following year, actually. We beat them in the regular season and had to play them in the playoffs, and they got us. Yeah. You know, it's interesting. I get a lot of questions about that for people who say it's not that big a town, but they've got two really good sports programs, which is really a phenomenal thing. I mean, that area, including Nashville and the history of Carlisle, and there's a lot of great athletes in that area. There are.
And yet that little town has produced two really special schools.
Well, the dynamic is, you know, the schools are in Breeze, but all the towns from around there all come there. So, like, Aveston has a grade school, and they have a starting five. St. Rose has a grade school. They have a starting five in basketball. Right. Albers has a starting five in basketball. Germantown has one. Bartelso has one. Yeah. You know, Breeze has one. Breeze has the Catholic All Saints Academy, which is, you know, the main feeder for Mater Dei. Yeah. So when you take all those starting fives, there's a lot of kids that get opportunity. That's true. Through grade school, that when you know those feeder schools blend together, good athletics can happen. Yeah. And I'm going to assume that those little area towns, sports are a priority there too. They are very much. Yeah. Yeah, very much. Yeah. They are a very high priority. Do they compete against each other? Yeah, they're all in the same conference. Gotcha. Yep. Yeah. They're all about the same size for the most part. Yeah. I think a couple of them might be a little bit bigger, and if you look at like the IHSA, I think a couple of them are M's. Yeah. And most of them are S's. Gotcha. But they do, and you know, they have parents for the most part that coach, but those guys have been doing it for a long time. They're not just doing it because their kids are there. Yeah. It's a pretty good program for them. That's a cool thing. Thanks for that history on that. So. You're playing high school football. I assume you're a pretty good player. Did you have any chances to play beyond, or did you play beyond? I did play. I played at Only College in Jacksonville. Gotcha. Okay. Great school, by the way. Yes, great school. You know, when we were talking influences, my main one probably was Dennis Litteken. Oh, okay. The head football coach at Mater Dei, now the principal there. Yeah. I still talk to him quite a bit. Yeah. Maybe not as much as I used to, obviously, but still talk to him quite a bit. He hasn't retired yet. He hasn't retired yet. I assumed that he had. No, he's still going. Yeah, he's the principal yet. And then, like my college coaches, I got to play for Bill Anderson and Mike Liljegren. I don't know if you remember those two guys. I remember the names, yeah. They were both really good guys. Really, you know, they really helped form me in a time where I probably needed it most. Yeah. You know, when you go away to college, you need some of that stuff, and they did a great job for me. Did you play 4 years? I did. Played defensive tackle for 4 years. Actually got to start a game my freshman year, played every game my sophomore and junior year, and then I got hurt between my junior and senior year and really didn't get to play a whole lot because of the injury. I hurt my knee, and it just wasn't the same going into my senior year. What was the experience like going from high school to college? Because a lot of our kids, you and I have been through this. Yeah.
they don't make the transition. High school to college isn't the same. It's
No.
different. But you made that transition and made it well. What was it like for you?
It was obviously different, but I don't know that I did it the same way all these guys do now. They all think that they can go back in and just go play right away.
Yeah.
And I just went in with the mindset I got to work as hard as I can to try to earn a spot on the travel team my freshman year. That was my goal.
Yeah.
And then I did. And then because of injury, I actually got in and got to play up at Knox my freshman year, which is a neat place too, the bowl. But it's all sunken down in the ground. But that's cool. It was pretty cool to get to play a little bit my freshman year. And
that probably helped make sure you stayed with it, right?
It did. It made sure that I wanted to be a part of it for as long as I could, obviously.
You play, you get your degree there. You graduate from Illinois College.
Yeah.
And what's the next step for you?
So I go home, and I don't really have a job out of college. I was looking. I went back to my summer job in between college years, which was I was actually working on the docks down in Madison, working for trucking companies, driving a forklift.
Oh, be darned.
And Dennis Liddicken asked me if I wanted to help coach freshman football.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, I think I can swing it with my job. I'll just work, midnights and coach. So started coaching. I'm about 3 weeks in. I remember telling my dad, this is what I want to do.
Oh, really? The light bulb came
just
on.
Bang,
right?
there it was. That was my light bulb moment. It just came on. I said, I want to coach.
Yeah.
This is what I want to do. I want to coach. I want to do everything I can to coach. And, eventually I got to McKendree and got my teaching credentials. And
what was your degree in originally?
Business and PE.
Okay.
I was a double major, business PE. The PE probably to help eligibility stuff, is my guess.
Yeah. Love the honesty. How long did it take you to get your degree at McKendree?
3 semesters.
Oh, that's pretty good. So you had a lot of things transferred then. I mean,
almost everything transferred.
Yeah.
And I went I think I started in January.
Yeah.
And the fall, took some summer school stuff, fall classes, and then in the spring I student taught, and would have been the spring of 01 I finished student teaching.
Where'd you student teach at?
Muscuda.
Okay. Did you coach there?
No.
It was a spring
semester.
Gotcha.
So actually, the way things worked out for me in that spring semester is when Dennis was resigning from football.
Oh, okay.
So I was running back and running the weight room. I'd get done at Muscuda at 3:10, I'd leave at 3:30, and I'd make sure I was back at Mater Dei by 4 to help finish weight room because somebody had to be doing it.
Yeah.
And I just made sure I got back there as soon as I could get back there because that was my focus.
Yeah.
But
so how long were you an assistant coach at Mater Dei?
4 years.
4 years.
I was a assistant freshman coach for 2 years.
Yeah.
And then became like Dennis's right-hand man running the defense the last 2 years.
Were you the obvious heir apparent?
I think so.
You felt like,
I don't know that there were many applications when Dennis got out. I don't think they really had a bunch of people knocking down the door to want to do it. I mean, and as I know now, you don't follow the guy. You follow the guy that follows the guy, right?
Yeah.
So first bad decision, followed the guy.
Yeah.
But it was home. It was where I went.
Yeah. Did you feel the pressure because of that?
I put enough on myself. I didn't need to feel it from anybody else.
Yeah.
And just wanting to do everything I could to elevate it. How can we be better? How can we be better? From how do we practice to what do we do in the off season to are we doing the right thing offensively? Are we doing the right thing
how old were you?
25 when I took the job.
That's how old I was.
Yeah.
I've been amazed in this podcast how many of the coaches, Hall of Famers I've interviewed, that I thought I was this guy that was the only one that started at 25.
Yeah.
A bunch of us did.
Yeah.
At 25, outside of Dennis, knowing what he did, you took a lot of stuff from Illinois College, I assume? And some
things I learned. I had been already a clinic rat.
Okay.
When I was with Dennis.
Yeah.
Trying to learn as much as I could. Wasn't sure it was all the right stuff for us, but you know how that goes. You got to learn it so you can either defend it or attack it.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to learn. I'd sit in we'd go to a clinic and I'd sit in one every session.
Yeah.
It didn't matter if it was anything close to what we did. I wanted to learn something.
I feel like I did the same thing until I got older.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got older and I knew who we were and I knew what we were defending, I found myself more disciplined about don't go in there and do some things you don't need to be doing.
Right.
Because when a good coach stands up and says, I do this and it works, I'm tempted to go, I need to do that, right?
Exactly,
right?
100%.
I'm like, I'll never forget, I went to a talk, and the name of the school is going to escape me, but he came in and he gave the best talk on tight end usage. I didn't have a tight end in the program. I'm driving home thinking, I got to find tight ends. I thought, no, I'm not going to find tight ends, but his talk was so good that I really wanted to do what he did, and I thought, that must have been a really good talk because he almost got a guy with no tight ends to run a tight end offense. But I love the idea when you're young, just get in there and just learn as much as you can.
And like sit in the room, like game plan meetings. I just, when I was first year out of college, I sat in the game plan meeting and just sat in the corner and just listened to the other guys talk, listen to Dennis, listen to my old coaches, basically listen to how they broke down an opponent and what they were, how they were going to attack and what they saw.
Yeah.
And then, back then, everybody couldn't watch the same film all the time. You had one or two copies of that film, right?
Yeah.
Can I get the
when
copy
do I get that? Yeah. When does the low man?
When's the low man get the film? Okay,
film.
Thursday night, I get it. Okay.
And even when we started, even copying a tape was a big deal until they made a machine that did it. But we used to have to wait your turn.
Yep.
Listen, I love the nuggets I get from the great coaches, and I think you've laid two out already. The first one is be hungry and learn as much as you can. And it doesn't really matter right now if it applies or not. The second thing I love, you listened. And I love the idea that you were willing to sit and listen to other people that knew more than you did and humble enough to say, I'm going to absorb some of this, even if I don't know what it is right now.
Right.
And I love that. Thank you. That's awesome.
Kind of on the same, just because it's kind of on my brain, but when I was going to McKendree to get my teaching, I would go in between classes and go sit and talk to Carl.
Yeah.
Or talk to,
of course,
the Pelkers or those guys I'd just sit in the meetings and just sit and talk to these guys, you know. And they were getting ready for practice. They'd let me sit in on their meetings, and that's how I got to know those guys.
Some great coaches there.
Really good coaches there. Yeah.
That's really cool.
But it was also, again, like we weren't running the wing tee.
No.
I wasn't ever probably going to run the wing tee, but I'm going to sit and listen to it, see what gives it problems.
I mean, I'm jumping ahead here, but when did you decide? Do you know what year, or was it early on you said, I'm going to throw the football?
Always liked throwing the ball. The quick game, three-step stuff was built into us at Mater Dei. Dennis brought that back in like right away. And I was enamored with, maybe not like we've done it the past 17 or 18 years or however many it's been, but then like quick game was important. Like we spent a good amount of time on quick game and sprint out and play action. Like throwing, to me, you got to have something. Yeah.
It's interesting, Gary Glindsey was at Pinckneyville when I got into coaching in the late 80s, and he was kind of slinging it around.
Yeah.
And I which was his way of competing against teams that no one else was doing that. And then by the time we got into 95 and 96 at my time at Carterville, we were throwing the ball, which at that time was a lot. Now, by today's standards, it probably wasn't a lot, but it was coming. Yeah. But I'm like you, I had this sense that when you got the right dude, this could be a great way to move the football without having to go 3 and 4 downs every series. So big play potential, man. So I love that. And so you take the head coaching job. What's the first year you became head coach?
2001.
2001. Okay. So what kind of shapes the program in that year?
Good shape.
Good shape.
Dennis did a great job.
Yeah.
I mean, his 15 or 16 years, whatever, he's the head coach, he did a great job. I mean, when he took over, there was like less than 30 kids in the program, and at one point we had 110 when he was the head coach. So he did a great job. He's just passionate about Mater Dei and Mater Dei football, and he got kids out, and I mean, was able to get them to understand their role, to build the program. When you get 110 kids in the program, that's a lot of kids, but he did a great job. Program was in good shape. I think we had 75 in the program, 70 in the program, something like that when I took over in 01. And we had a senior class that was athletic, not great up front. And we didn't have a returning quarterback. So that was part of what we had to grow, and we didn't have a returning tailback. We didn't, just some things we didn't, some pieces we didn't have for what we were doing. And the quarterback cannot end up not being the problem. It's just the head coach was young and making dumb decisions.
Been there, yeah. Well, it's interesting. I played them in '93 when I was at Flora. I played Mater Dei.
Game.
Yeah, and it was a good game. But I'll never forget. I think I dressed, and I could be wrong, but I think I dressed 30, mid-30s players. We didn't have our numbers were never huge. Good football team though. We were a good football team. And I look over, and I swear to you, I felt like Dennis dressed everybody in the program. It's like a wall of Mater Dei kids. You said he had over 100 kids, maybe. It looked like that. I look at my little ragtag bunch, and we were tough kids, great kids. It was a great game, and Zerlini was this running back, and he ran wild, and no excuses. We had some injuries. We didn't have much depth, but that team that beat us went on to play in the semis and should have beat Waterloo.
Should have beat Waterloo.
I was at that game.
Felt
like they won the whole game until a late fumble and a short field, right?
Yeah.
And Waterloo scores, I think, won 7-6. Am I correct?
7-6.
And I'm like,
game. Yeah.
I think Mater Dei won every statistical category except the score.
Yep.
Yeah. I remember it like it was yesterday.
One.
It was a tough one.
It was a tough one.
But credit to Waterloo, man. They battled. So, yeah, he did a great job, coached against him. And so from 01 to 6, was there a progression of improvement that you were seeing?
Yeah, I don't know that everybody saw it.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I could see things getting better. I felt like I learned as a coach, like my practice philosophy changed. Better reps rather than more reps. Just things that I feel like we were doing better. We were getting more explosive from the weight room. Just things that not everybody sees. Football guys see, but you know, not everybody with the blank eye sees. Yes, we had a good group. That the 02 group was a really good group. We went undefeated in 02 in the regular season. Lost in the third round on a Friday night to Hillsborough. Coach Stewart and that group, they come down and whale of a battle. We got stopped on the goal line, going for the win. It was a 20-16 final. We got stopped literally right here.
Yeah.
And you know, just the way it went, we got beat. And then 03 and 04, we kind of took a little step back and then back up, and then 5 a little better. And then we knew when the senior group of 06 were freshmen that it was a good class. I mean, there was 29 of them or 30 of them when they were freshmen that we had in that group.
And they kind of stayed together?
You could tell, like, they were together already in the summer, like leading into the year, and that they were, you could tell the attrition level wasn't going to be real high with that group, just the way they were going about it. And I think we finished with 19 or 20.
It's a good number.
You know, when they were seniors, and that's the group that went to the title game. We got second with that group, but we had a good mix of linemen, skill guys, you know, mid-sized guys, all as freshmen. And then the group behind them was a really good melting pot group. Like they could fill in.
Perfect.
Right where it needed
That's
to fill.
That's a perfect storm,
you know?
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love what you said too. That era of 04, 05, 06, we're getting in that era where I felt like coaches were practicing getting away from the old school, just grind it out, beat the heck out of each other, make kids tough.
Right.
We were practicing smarter, shorter, quality over quantity. I agree. And that was a big change coming into my life when I joined the Tony Franklin system. He kind of flipped the way we practiced on our head, and we're like, this is different, you know. So yeah, I appreciate that, because I think that's a big step. I thought coaches were taking. I think the better coaches were seeing this and taking that step. So
when you sit in as many clinic speeches as you sit in, and you hear and you talk to those guys about how they practice, I mean, that's one of the things I always wanted to learn on. I like watching practice. I like going to practice, and you watch these college coaches. You know, when you go to the U of I clinic every year and you watch them practice, you think, man, their tempo of practice is unbelievable.
Yeah.
How can we get that to where it would relate to how it would help us? We know we can't go that fast. That tempo, we can't get to that. But how can we get to something that would help us? And it's just, you know, just keep going. I mean, we went from having the old water trough, you know, with the big bar. You turn it on and all the water comes flipping out of it, you know.
Yeah.
And we bought the gravity set the water buckets up on top, and they had 4 spouts out of them. We had them around. We had water bottles around. We're just trying to go as not waste time, running down to the trough and running back, and just how can we be more efficient? How can we be more efficient?
It's so funny you say that, because you're right. You would go to those college practices and you would say, "That's what I want to look like." Now, if you're really smart, we probably never are.
No.
Arkansas State did a walkthrough at Marion High School one time. I think Hugh Freeze was either the head coach or might have been the offensive coordinator. And they got out of their buses and they had their practice stuff on. And Ray, it was a pregame. It was the most efficient thing I have ever watched to this day. I mean, it was, and I could never get that out of my head, wanting mine to look just like that. And of course, it never would.
Never would.
And it can't.
No.
But I mean, it was impressive before he was known by anyone outside of that area, but I was impressed. So I know that feeling of when you see something, you envision that, like, I want that. And I think I became enamored with practice schedules and practice plans and having the perfect practice, right?
Yep. That's what you always want, right?
I loved it.
I love practice.
I do too.
I love practice.
I loved it.
I'd just as soon go to practice as go to a game.
Well, I miss practice because, the outcome of the games, the pressure, the expectations, it's all wonderful, but after a while that just begins to build. But God, practice was awesome.
So much fun.
I loved it. I miss putting together these practice schedules that I thought, now that is something really. Go home a little disappointed. It was never like I thought.
You're right.
Yeah, awesome. So that 6 team, that you've got this combination of athletes from 2 different classes, a good bunch of seniors. Did you have any idea you were going to go there? Do you think there was a chance?
I think going into the year we thought we'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
Just because we felt we had a really good tailback. We had 2 or 3 fullbacks, and we were in the eye. We had 2 or 3 tight ends. We had a decent group across the front. Up front now, offensively, we had one really good wide receiver, one good wide receiver, and then defensively, we had switched. I mean, we had spent some time with Jerry Kill's staff. And we were one of the first ones to be in the 3-3 stack.
Oh, wow.
So it was causing problems. And we had, I say it to this day, we had on that field, we had 9 guys that could have played linebacker that were playing defense.
Yeah.
Our front 3 could all play linebacker. Our stacks could all play linebackers. The outside dogs, whatever you call them, were playing linebacker, and the free safety could play linebacker.
That's a pretty good
our
thing
2
to have,
corners, Our 2 corners were corners,
Yeah.
wide receiver types. But, they could all and would all just be as physical as.
Physical, brought a lot of pressure.
Brought pressure.
Yeah.
We brought people every play, 4, 5, 6-man pressures all the time.
Yeah.
Played a lot of basic cover 3 behind it.
Was there any point in the season where you said, this is going to be special?
Yeah, and I don't know if it was during the regular season.
Oh, okay.
We go 7-2. We lost to Tulona Unity in week 8 up there, and lost to Newton at our. No, over there, I think. I can't remember what the game was. It was at our place. We lost to Newton at our place in week 9. Bob Horst was the head coach.
Yeah.
I think it was his last year as a head coach.
I was going to say he must have been close.
Yeah, he was right. I think it was his last year. It was, and then so we get in at 7-2, and we think maybe depending on who we draw, we get Muhammad, and we're thinking, big school coming down playing 4A, and we jumped them, and we did some things to be successful early and hung on and won like 28-9 or something. Yeah. And I thought, okay, well, now we got to go to Quincy Notre Dame.
Oh, man.
So we go to Quincy Notre Dame.
That's a pathway right now. right.
So we go to Quincy Notre Dame, and it's like we're down. I want to say we're down 16-0, 19-0, middle of the second quarter, and they were just running over us like we weren't there. And I looked at my D coordinator and I said, okay, let's just stop screaming and hollering at them. Let's just make it a positive experience the rest of the day. Let's see what happens. We couldn't move the ball. We couldn't stop them. We get the ball. We could just run a simple swing pass to the tailback, and he goes for 45. It wasn't a touchdown, but he went for 45, and our kids thought, we can move the ball.
Yeah.
And then we end up scoring 4 half, and I think we had it 19-7 at half, and then scored on we get into halftime, and our kids are jacked. Like, hey, let's just do this, because they were so big up front. I mean, just enormous. It got dark outside when they came out. It was just, oh my Lord, big. Jack Cornell, who played in the NFL, who's their head coach now, he's on that team. I mean, he's 6'6", 300. The center's the runt, and he's 6 foot 290. You know, I mean, so
And you've got 9 linebackers on defense.
yeah. So we were bloody shinning them. We were just cutting them, just trying to make it to where we could see what was coming from behind them, because they were in single type power I and just mowing people down.
Yeah.
And we got in there, and all our kids were like, "Let's just quit making us cut. Let's just go. Let's use our speed. Let's use our quickness. Let's go around them." So we went around them. They didn't score the rest of the game.
Ah, that's awesome.
We come back, win like 30-19, and just like our kids just, and that's when I thought,
Okay.
all right, we're kind of catching lightning in a bottle here.
Yeah, 2 big dogs right there.
2 big ones.
Yeah.
So we get home, figure out we got to go to Newton, who beat us in week 9.
Oh.
And what a ball game.
Yeah.
I mean, just we started at 5 o'clock, so it was one of those, it's a Saturday night game playoffs. You know, it's, you know, you've been involved in them. They're just, there's something different about playing.
We had one here against Charleston, and it was a late start on a Saturday night.
It's just different.
It was awesome.
And we're driving up there on the bus, and the parents are all driving past us and honking the horn and getting excited, and they're in an open lot across the road, tailgating, ready for the game. And so we get into the game, and we force a fumble right off the bat and kick a field goal, 3-0.
Yeah.
And then they had scored 30, 35, 38 points against us the first time, something like that. And we hit them early and often, and then they scored 1 offensive touchdown in the game, scored a defensive touchdown. We're winning 17-14, and I've got it on here for one of my notes from 06, but the fake punt.
Oh.
If you asked people that are involved with that group or people that are around Mater Dei at that time, they'll still call it the fake punt.
The fake punt.
So we picked the ball off in the end zone, 2:30 to go in the game, less than 3 minutes to go in the game, and we're winning 17-14, so we get in our 20, and they got all 3 timeouts. We run the ball, get nothing, timeout. We run it, get 3, timeout. We run it, get 4, timeout. 4th and 3 on our 27. We faked it. Like I remember in my headset, I told my coaches, I said, I'm going to fake this thing. I said, because it doesn't matter where they get it, they can score the next play. So why not try to keep it from them? And we faked the punt and we got it. And
was it a direct snap to an up back?
Up back,
Yeah.
Straight ahead run. I mean, wedge block run.
They weren't looking for
They
it.
weren't looking for that.
Were they playing return or were they playing
they were
block?
playing for return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good call, coach.
Right, yeah, because it worked out, right?
Could have had a for sale sign in your yard if it
Coulda,
hadn't,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that's quarters.
Yeah, and then we get to come home. So we played 2 on the road.
Oh, okay.
And we beat Mascoutah 7-0.
Oh, what
In
a
a
game.
semifinal game.
So your defense.
We got hot defensively.
Yeah. I mean,
And
I think of you as an offensive-minded guy, but credit to your defense in
Yes.
that run. Of course, when you get into playoff time, you got to have it. I mean, that's 7-0.
7-0, and we scored on an 80-yard wheel route
Oh my gosh.
early in the second quarter.
Wow, and that was it.
That was it.
Anybody threatened? Were there
We had
threatened?
5 goal line stands.
Whew. and so then you make the trip. Well, how exciting is that? I mean, like,
Oh, it was
so
unreal.
you're headed to. And I remember watching your game, but you're headed to Bloomington,
Champaign
that year.
Yep.
Okay, you go to Champaign. Who's your opponent?
Addison Driscoll.
I remember.
Yep.
Yep.
And we were in it. We got the ball coming out at half. We're down 14-0 at half. We had a chance.
And they went on a run of how many in a row?
6.
They won 6.
It was right in the middle of that
Yeah,
run.
yeah.
I mean, I think we were the 4th or 5th one
They beat Mount Carmel
the year before.
twice. I
Twice
think.
in a row, yeah.
Twice in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought we had a chance at halftime. We had lost our tailback third play of the game. He broke a rib, so he was out.
Yeah.
But we felt like we had a chance coming out of halftime, and we dropped a potential touchdown pass right out of the first drive, and you could just see the sails just down, and then that was it. But man, what a run! What a great.
Yeah.
Every coach should be able to, go through it.
Yeah.
The good ones don't always get to, but
No, and that's I don't care when it happens in your career. I was young. I didn't take it for granted at all. I savored every moment. I remember everything. I mean, so I'm glad I did that.
Yeah.
And I'm also glad that when I won it, when our team won it in '96, my family was all alive. My dad was there, my mom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it would have happened later, it would have been great too. But I got to share it with everybody in my family, which
I
is
didn't
pretty
get
cool.
to share it with my dad. He had passed before that, a couple years before that. But yeah, I mean, my mom never missed. You know, my sister had never missed.
That's really cool. Congrats on that. And then you make it back. You go to the semis in 8.
Yeah. So in 07, we were pretty good then too. We were 8-1 in 07. We had won that my last 3 years there. We were on a bit of a run. We went 11-3, 9-2, and then turned around and went 12-1. Wow. So we had 3 back-to-back years where.
Who beat you in 08?
Bloomington Central Catholic.
Oh, okay.
Up there on a windy, prairie, cold day in November.
Yeah.
But we lost to Mount Vernon and Mount Carmel in 07.
Okay.
Over down there.
Yeah.
And
that was your playoff. That was your playoff loss.
Yeah, we were young, and it was like our kids learned a lot from that. You know, they'd seen the semis the year before, obviously, but they weren't on the field.
Yeah.
You know, when that 07 group, for the most part, when they saw how it went, and then, you know, going to 08, that's when we threw the baby out with the bathwater and went to the spread and didn't take one snap. Didn't take one snap under center in 08. Yeah. The whole year. I mean, it was just straight spread. And we threw for like 4,000 yards in the year. It was crazy.
Times were changing.
They were changing.
Yeah,
we made the change because we didn't have a fullback.
Yeah.
I mean, we were a fullback-oriented team for a long time at Mater Dei.
Yeah.
And when you didn't have one, you gotta make a change somewhere.
You built up an element of trust by this point.
Mm-hmm.
Was there any? What are you doing throwing the ball? Was there any of that? No, I didn't have that either. But you know, I think when I went to the spread, I had not had a lot of success here.
Yeah.
But I think I had enough that there was an element of trust in what I was doing. But you were at a place where they had always ran the ball first.
Yep.
And you made the change. I wonder if there's any.
No, not really.
Not after you started winning.
Not after you started winning. And you know, our quarterback was a 6'7" gunslinger. I mean, he could just throw it all over the yard. We had some good receivers.
Yeah.
Like I said, we didn't have a fullback, and I think everybody was somewhat associated with the program that had any kind of ears and eyes that were close to us at all, knew what was coming.
Now, if someone's watching and they don't know you or I very well, and most people I'm sure do, but they've got to be asking, why'd you leave? Because you had built something really special there, had a lot of success, hometown guy. And, I mean, I mentioned it earlier. Yep. Centralia is not in a good place.
They were not, no.
What led to that?
Prayed. Spent some time alone and just reflecting. I had applied but pulled my name after the 06 for a couple jobs. I just didn't think I was ready to move, to leave, to try a new challenge.
Yeah.
But after the 08 season, I had some people come talk to me, you know, Chuck Lane from Centralia, who's still the superintendent there, and just wanted to talk about if I knew somebody that would want to do it. And then he offered me the kind of, told me, here's what you could do, here's what we could do for you. And when you see the ability to get in the TRS system,
sure, of
you
course.
see the ability to get paid a little bit better.
Of course, yeah.
But the challenge,
yeah.
I loved the idea of the challenge, because my thought was, why not? Everybody says, why Centralia? Why are you going to Centralia? I said, why not? Yeah. They won in the 60s and 70s. They were really good in the 60s and 70s. And they've had athletes running around there. Just people couldn't get them out, or they, just fell on hard times for a generation, basically, or two.
We never beat them and felt like it was a lack of talent. Mm-hmm. I'm serious.
Right.
And we weren't winning very many games in my first 3 years, but we were beating Centralia every year. But it wasn't because we thought they just don't have any. I thought they had players, and I knew they had more in the hallway.
Yeah.
It's funny because your story leaving Mater Dei, taking Centralia, is similar to me leaving Carterville and going to Marion, because Marion's success had been kind of limited.
Sure.
Not as low as Centralia was, because Centralia was really at the very bottom.
About the bottom of the barrel, probably.
Yeah. I mean, I played some of those Centralia teams, Ray, and they were, as I said, had some talent, but they weren't very well coached. They weren't very good.
Yeah.
So, what was the pleasant surprise was there a pleasant surprise when you got there, as far as, I know you've got this image of what you're going to undertake.
The pleasant surprise was probably that the core of the guys that were on the staff were good.
Okay.
Brad Guai, who's obviously our head coach now, really good coach. He was really good then.
So he was there back then.
He was there already. He came with Coach Bennett.
Okay.
And
I got you.
when they hired Coach Bennett, they told him, you can bring a guy with you, but he's got to be a football guy too.
Okay.
So Brad came with Coach Bennett, and really good football coach.
Yeah.
I mean, a really good football coach. And then I got to bring a couple guys in with me. I brought one guy with me that was with me at Mater Dei.
Okay.
So it became a good situation as far as staff-wise. I really liked our staff. Guys that are still in education right now. Another guy, Todd Bauer, who's still with the program right now. I mean, so there's two guys that were there in '09 when I came, and they're still coaching football at Centralia now.
What was the thing that, look, that's the pleasant surprise. Staff is better than I think, and that matters.
Mm-hmm.
What was worse than you thought? Was there anything that was maybe worse than you thought?
How do you say, like, anything that didn't include the players, like the inventory of equipment, just the whole equipment side of it was like an, oh my goodness, I can't believe that's
Really? Yeah.
You look back and, you know, we go in as a staff and we're going through, I mean, I inventoried everything.
Yeah.
You know, I just had staff, we had all those guys come in, those staff guys came in, and we inventoried everything, every knee pad, thigh board, you know, everything. We put sets together, and, you know, we got guys coming out with more boxes of footballs, more boxes of just white practice pants. It's like they ordered the same thing every year and just said, here's our stock order.
Oh, I had an AD tell me that's very common, that they just turn in the same order every year. Even if they've got 13 kicking tees, they're going to get 13 more.
Yeah, right. So I was like, so we got to, you know.
Yeah.
What did they look like at practice? Well, everything was an old game jersey or an old game pant, which a lot of places had done, but they literally would have looked like orphans on the field.
Oh.
You know, like 4 different shades of red or maroon or white pants or black pants, or, you know, and I just didn't want that.
Well, you and I know if you go to a good team and you watch them practice, they don't look like that.
No.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They just don't. When you're wearing different shades, I don't care if it's practice. I've seen it in games too.
Mm-hmm.
Different year uniforms. They're not getting enough to. That's not a good signal for your kids.
No.
You know, so.
And so kind of, it wasn't a pleasant surprise because it was expected as I went through the process of going to Centralia. But Mr. Lane never told me no.
Yeah.
Like, we need 4 more helmets. I have 4 more kids come out.
Yeah.
You really got to have them. I said, well, this is what we wanted. We wanted kids to come play football.
Yeah.
I need a set of practice jerseys. I need this, you know. And as we kept going, it became, I need an end zone camera. I need this. I need this. And it was always something to build the program.
Sure.
And he was 100% behind us. So that was, I mean, he's the reason why it flipped too.
Basketball's a monster there.
Yeah.
And the winningest basketball program in the nation. And there is a fear among, I'm sure, of many football coaches that of going to a basketball town can be difficult getting certain kids that need to play.
Yeah.
Did you have any concerns about that? But you've come from a place where basketball was a pretty big deal also.
Basketball's a big deal at Mater Dei as well.
Yeah.
And you know, I just kind of spent some time talking to Dennis, because when Dennis turned the program at Mater Dei, it was a basketball program. It was not, he wasn't getting the basketball kids to play football.
Yeah.
And it was start with the 6th man, get the 5th man, try for the point guard if you get those, you know.
Yeah.
And that's just the way I went about it.
That's interesting. Yeah.
You know, it's just tried to, you know, and it helped having Brad on staff because he was the JV boys basketball coach.
Yeah.
So
That's
we
a
had
big help.
he had a huge bridge right there. And I stood in practice and listened to Coach Bennett say, I think you guys should consider playing football.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like he was against us.
Yeah.
You know, he was all for it. I mean, he's the boys' AD. Why would he not want one of the sports to be successful?
Yeah.
That's the way I kept looking at it. Is it a monster? Yes, but it's a good monster to have. I mean, don't you want people excited about sports in your town? I mean, they're not just excited about basketball. They're really excited about basketball. I get that.
And they always will be.
And they always will be.
Yeah.
But they're also really excited about all their sports.
Absolutely.
They're very passionate about orphan and Annie athletics.
Yeah.
I mean, when that first game, you talked about that first game when we beat Salem that night. I mean, that place would look like a playoff crowd. I mean, Centralia had to have over 3,000 people there just on our side.
How many votes for mayor did you get that next election?
I don't know. People might have wrote my name in, but I didn't. I don't know.
I love it because, listen, it was a big deal. And we had some ball games early where you actually came across the field and apologized to me because you said, we're going to, and I knew you would. You said, we're going to get better. I apologize. I've been there, and I always appreciated that because I knew it wasn't to the standards you wanted it to be, but it couldn't be yet.
Yeah.
But it was pretty soon. But we had some great matchups, by the way. Great matchups.
Yeah.
And every time
Save the first one when we had to come down here without a quarterback.
Yeah. And every time we played at your place, it rained
Every time.
buckets. I can still see you in boots squeegeeing the sidelines, right?
Yeah.
It was so weird, right?
Yeah.
A year after year, at your place, not ours, it would just come a deluge.
Yeah. Whether it happened on Friday afternoon or happened during the game.
Yeah.
It was going to happen. It feel like when we played each other at our place. At the old Evers, it feel like we're going to be wet.
But we had some great games, man. We had a great regular season games. We had a great playoff game.
I still call it the Rashad game.
Yeah.
At
Well,
our place. You don't like the reference to that, but
no, I mean, so you snapped the ball in the rain over his head.
yeah.
And I've got a headset on. Jeff Sema, he runs back to pick it up. Rashad Campbell. He runs back to pick it up, and Jeff Sema says in my ear, uh-oh. Because, as you know,
Yeah.
lanes and gap integrity breaks down because they have it, and then the ball goes over his head, and then they just run to the ball.
Yep. And he goes here, 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 and then there.
Yeah, and it's wet.
Yeah.
There's no footing. And I remember him picking the ball up and looking. And I thought, and Jeff's, uh-oh. he knew it. And, and then I remember we begged our kicker not to kick it off to him.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, no matter what kick we tried on the ground, it just like a magnet to him. But, yeah, you did such a good job of rebuilding that and building a winner there. And then we had some great matchups. I mean, I just, some of the, I always say this, that you came and you made Centralia better, but in a lot of ways, Ray, I think you made the conference better.
Yeah.
That game, which had been,
appreciate that.
That game was an afterthought for a few years by some people. I never felt that way. I always felt like it had to be. But, boy, you changed that. What year was the flip? You had 2 years?
2 years where, the first year was just can we find a way to be competitive through 4 quarters, and that would have been in 2009. The second year, we still didn't want to play a conference game.
Yeah.
And we were in every game, We were in every game in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And then the following year, the third year, we flipped, and, I still remember the game at your place that year where you got called for a fumble on a shovel pass.
We did.
And we jumped you guys early.
And you did not defend me at all.
Not
I'm
one
out there
bit.
saying that's a forward. I'm saying that's a forward pass.
I got 11 guys on the field ready to play offense because they're called it a fumble.
He said that's a fumble.
And we hit you with a wheel route the next play. I'll never forget. Those are just memories you have.
Yeah.
But and then it took us scoring on a long ball late, and then didn't get the 2-point conversion. And I had it in my notes. It's just because I was thinking about the game. I was begging you in my mind to call a timeout because we had just scored on a 90-yard pass play and we were going for 2 to win it.
Yeah.
I was begging you to call timeout because we didn't have one and Rashad was dead.
Yeah.
Because he just went 90 for a touchdown.
Yeah. He's tired. Let him go. I don't remember if I was that strategically inclined at that moment, or I don't know. But I was glad to see when he graduated, and then Javon shows up, and man, it was a lot of fun, Ray. And so your time at Centralia, very successful, got it rolling. Trenton Wesclin.
So I had finished my master's.
Yeah.
And saw the job open, that it was open, and I just thought, I'm going to interview, just to interview. I haven't interviewed in a while.
Yeah.
And really, I hadn't interviewed.
Yeah.
Became the head. It was like you talked, the heir apparent at Mater Dei.
Yeah.
Centralia, they kind of came and said, "Hey, what do you think about coming here?" And then the process started.
Yeah.
So I really didn't sit in a in an interview. So I thought I'm going to interview in case something down the road comes up that I'm interested in. And you get the second interview, and then the job offer comes, and now you got a decision to make, and kind of felt like it was the right thing at the right time. And so went there, and I was out of football for 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And so just kind of, I enjoyed the job. I enjoyed the AD job. I really did. I enjoyed the planning. I enjoyed the getting to know other ADs, still getting to communicate with coaches, still getting to communicate with all our coaches, just trying to help everybody bring their program up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then, so in those 2 years, I coached golf. Still the only golf coach at Wesclin High School to bring a kid to the state tournament.
Attaboy, congratulations. Yeah, that's good.
So that was fun, to be able to say you did that. But it was, and then, Rick Johns was our head coach.
Yeah.
And so Rick moved on, and then I became the head coach.
Yeah.
And, it was good. Learned a lot.
Yeah.
We were an immature program, and I think you may understand what I say when I say that.
Yeah.
And when I say we're an immature program, it was still so young that kids that were playing, their parents didn't play football at Wesclin because it wasn't there.
Yeah.
The program started in 01.
That is a bigger deal than people will ever know.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree with you.
And so, when I was at Mater Dei, it was becoming a mature program. Kids that I had playing, some of their parents had played, or there was football at Mater Dei at least.
Yeah.
When they were there.
Yeah.
They couldn't say that at Wesclin. We had one. And, that's it. So
that's a really interesting thought. I mean, because like when even if the program has not been super strong, if they've played, there's a connection to the game that parents have.
Even if it was there, even if it was offered, and they understood Friday night.
Yeah. Right.
What Friday was like during football season. I think that's a different.
I agree.
Just a different tidbit or fact that will help you as you're building your program at a place.
I'm gonna jump ahead just for time purposes. Your decision to come back to Centralia. You were at Wesclin for how long?
8 years total.
8 years total.
7 as the AD, 6 as the head coach.
So you decided to come back to Centralia. Again, just felt like it was the right time to do that. I know your wife is coaching softball.
My wife was, she's the softball coach there. She actually, when I was deciding to come back, she was taking a break because she was coaching our daughters.
I got you.
In softball. So she had gotten out of softball, the softball job there. And actually, I was at the Centralia High School Christmas party with my wife. And Brad and I got off on the side, and it became a conversation. And he said, "What do you ever think about? You ever think about coming back?" It's like, no, never said no.
Yeah.
And then, the conversation became more real about a month later, and then a month after that, it got really real, and Mr. Lane got involved, and it became, I'm going back.
Yeah.
And I've loved every minute of it, man.
That's awesome. Good for you. And I know that I'm sure Brad is thrilled to have you back. Who wouldn't be? And that's a really cool thing that you're back. And
the dynamic, just like, it's almost like we just picked up right where we left off, because Brad was the D coordinator and I was running the offense when I was the head coach. Now he gets the head coach title. He runs the defense.
And you get to do all the fun stuff and let Brad take care of all that other junk.
Coach the offensive line, and I build my half of practice on on our perfect practice plans. You know. And
they're perfect.
Yeah.
The dang kids can't execute them, but they're perfect.
So I get to do that. He allows me the opportunity. Once a week or so, we'll go offense first in practice. If I need to go, I can still go watch my daughter play softball. I mean, things you could never do as a head coach.
Oh, right, exactly. Yeah, you can't sneak out.
No, and he allowed me that opportunity. So I could. Great. I mean, it was one of the points of interest for me to come back was the fact that I could, because I was probably only going to coach for another year or so at Wesclin. There was a good group that were just seniors. This group, and I liked that group a lot. And I was probably going to see them out, and that was probably going to be it for me. But then with Brad giving me the opportunity to, and them getting Centralia giving me the opportunity to do what I'm doing, I get to stay in football, which is fun.
What's the feeling now? You're leaving the South 7. Is there an element of excitement about the new conference? What's the feeling in Centralia?
I think people are a little unsure because you're leaving the tradition of the South 7. And I think people it's been what they've been in for. They're a charter member of the conference.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a decision that was taken lightly. I think that the administration and everybody that was involved really did their homework on it, and I think that there's a thought of excitement, and there's a kind of a wonder, like, what's it really going to be like?
Sure. It'll be different.
It'll be different.
Does it change your travel quite a bit, or some?
Some.
Yeah.
I think I mapped it out over the summer when it became a real conversation, and I think it's going to cost us on average 10 to 15 minutes a trip, which in the end there's one long one, that's Jerseyville.
Yeah.
And that's every other year for us as football guys. And
Made
the basketball team made it last night.
Yeah.
So
Made that haul from here. I was every time surprised how long it took to get to Jerseyville. It's just not it's up there.
It's a little better now with 255 getting up there a little north of Alton. It's a little better now, but it's still a long trip. But excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, so what I'm doing obviously this off season is building files on new teams.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not going back and looking at
right.
Well, this is what Marion had. This is what they're losing. We have all that information now. I got to try to find all that information.
And a pretty special quarterback to work with the next couple of years still.
Yeah, that was obviously part of the draw to come back, is to be able to work with Archie. Yeah. And not just Archie, but Kenny and the group of kids that are in that sophomore class. That's a pretty good class.
When they were in 8th grade, did you know that there's a special group?
Well, I had to take Brad's word. I mean,
he told you they were special.
He kind of knew that there's a chance,
And you thought, is he just?
Well, I knew that was Archie, right?
Yeah.
I mean, and I'd watched him grow even the whole time, and there was some cool pictures came up through this fast fall, and that was actually one of them was at our playoff game at our place. Archie would always run out with the team and pregame, and I was giving him a high five, and those came up like right when we're getting ready to play in the playoff game, and it's just pretty neat. And,
little Archie, not little Archie.
Not little guy no more.
Yeah.
No.
You're like me. You kind of started kind of in an older school era. I a little older than you, obviously. But what do you miss? What do you miss about the way it was when you started 25 years later? What do you miss about the old days?
Oh, one thing we talked about before we went on, but I miss film exchange. I miss conversations with other coaches that you meet. Picking up film here or there. I miss the old days of clinics where there was one or two. Seemed like every month that McKendree used to have them. WashU used to have them once a month, January, February, March, April.
Yeah, remember that.
So go to there like on a Monday night or a Wednesday night, and you get a night to just learn football from maybe two other speakers that you didn't always get.
Yeah, and even when we played each other, we would stop by your room at the University of Illinois. Remember that? Yeah. I mean, but again, it was an interaction, even with your rivals, even with your opponents, or
it is a fraternity, right?
Yeah.
I mean, coaching is a fraternity.
And like you and I have talked about, now almost every clinic talk is online.
Yeah.
So you don't have to go sit in a ballroom somewhere in a St. Louis hotel. At first I was thrilled.
Yeah.
I didn't have to go anywhere, and now I miss it. I do. I don't miss the cold days traveling up there, but
technology's been good and bad.
It has.
It's been good and bad.
Yeah. We already talked about practice philosophy a little bit, but you have the challenge now, Ray, of balancing family interest, family sports with coaching, and I guess you're in a good place to do that now as OC, right? You said that's been easier to do.
Been a good thing. I've been able to be involved a little bit more with them throughout the past two falls, being closer. Being 15 minutes from home and my wife working there, they get to come to all the games.
Yeah.
And to me, there's nothing better than my pregame, postgame hugs from my two little girls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the whole time, anytime they came to a Wesclin game, I got my pregame, postgame. And now Ella, my youngest one, gives me a note.
Yeah. Oh, I remember seeing that.
Before every game.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's special.
Note
that's special.
Tell me you're a coach's kid without telling me you're a coach's kid.
Yeah.
Tell them not to be sissies, Dad.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah. Good advice.
Yeah.
Are you in any way, shape, or form an assistant softball coach in any way?
I'm just a listening ear on.
Okay, I got
when she comes home.
Yeah, okay.
And she's a listening ear for football.
Sure.
So when you get to bounce ideas off of
my wife too,
coach, it's nice that they understand. I mean, most wives get to hear the brunt of it anyway when the football coach comes home, right?
Yeah.
But when my wife gets to hear what I had, she's a coach, and she can say, well, what about this or what about that?
Yeah. When you look at a film of an opponent's defense, what is the first thing you want to know? I mean, what do you give me? Maybe the 1, 2, and 3. I want to know this, this, and this.
Structure.
Okay.
You know, is it an odd? Is it an even?
Okay.
You, 3-4-3-3, 4-2-5, 4-3. You know what's your base? What's your base structure? Structure 1, coverage 2, and blitz percentage 3.
Gotcha.
You know,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just.
Yeah.
And where's it come from?
Yeah.
You know, like if you're bringing it, is it coming from the edge? Is it coming right up the middle? How does it affect my pass protection?
I would say I would start with those 3, and then the other things I'm looking for, is there a dude that we got a game plan for?
Yep.
And are there some dudes we can pick on?
Yep.
Right?
Oh yeah,
You know,
100%.
I mean, and I think that's a nice formula. Young coach watching, I think that's pretty sound no matter who you're playing.
Yeah.
If you get teams that are doing something they've never done against you, it's kind of scary when you're a young coach. And now I'm to the point where if they're not used to doing this and they're trying to gimmick what we do,
Kind of like thing. You know, from year to year. You know, when I first started facing you guys were 3-4. I mean, pretty much religiously, you're going to get the 3-4 from Marion, and you're going to get the 4-3 from Salem. Coach Stewart, you know, when I first started.
Yep.
I mean, so you could kind of build your files a little bit. Like you knew you're going to get this, and I still have one. I have one written for next year, right next to my desk that says our schedule. That this is what I feel like they're in, more than they're not in.
Right.
You know, so it's learning now for us is what's different.
Yeah.
So, but yes, structure, you know, coverage, blitz percentage.
Are you for the playoff system proposal that's out there?
I'm not against it. I think it would have been really good for us Centralia the past 15 years that, you know, those years where you can't get to 5, you get an extra week of practice because the teams, the schools that miss out on the playoffs, they're missing out on a week of practice.
Yeah.
And I just think that the ones that have the success and now that just keep having the success, the Rochesters, the Sacred Heart Griffins of the world, the Chicago Mont Carmels, you look at how many, I mean, in 2 years they get an extra season of practice.
So true.
You know, and I just want to be with the kids again another week.
You're coming from a private school background. There's a lot of talk, people wanting to separate private and public.
Yep.
What's your take on that?
Well, my note here for your question on that says that's a pretty loaded question for a guy that was at that.
Well, I've asked a lot of public school coaches that. I've not asked a private school coach that.
I think that my experience with private schools is different than most.
Yeah.
Because I don't consider, I mean, Mater Dei is obviously a private Catholic high school.
Yeah.
But we were a rural, and it is a rural private Catholic high school. We weren't bringing kids in from across the river.
Right.
You know, if you were at Altoff where you saw kids that came from St. Louis, or you're at Quincy, Notre Dame, kids came from across the Mississippi River from West Quincy or wherever they came from. Or Springfield, the city size just so much bigger than what we have. Or, you know, you go Joliet Catholic or Chicago Mont Carmel, they're bringing them in from everywhere. And it's just, we are so much different. So I wouldn't want it for Mater Dei.
Yeah.
But I see, now that I'm away from it, I do see the argument.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you answering because I mean, I get that question, I get that comment a lot. You see it online a lot, and I know there's a lot of feelings about it. But what lies ahead for you? Keep coaching? No
end sight yet, no end date yet for that. No expiration, I guess.
Yeah, that's good. Well, the game's blessed to have you, brother.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And I just want to tell you, you were a great adversary. You made me a better coach. You made Centralia. Mater Dei, you took them to another level. You know, in Centralia, my goodness, what you did there is commendable. Now you're doing it as OC, and I know Brad's thrilled to have you there. I would be. I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate the fact that we could compete at a high level.
Yeah.
But we kept it. We kept the friendship strong, and I'm always rooting for you, brother. I know we still once in a while text on game day, and wish you all the best. And
it's one of my favorite parts of game day.
Yeah,
sending out the 57, 58,
whatever
many text messages there are.
Yeah, but I wish you all the success in the world.
Appreciate it.
And
Thank you.
Congratulations to you and your wife and your family, and good luck to you in that new conference.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Hey, thanks for joining us today. I want to thank Ross and Abby, Crown Brew, Swinford, wedding videography and photography. Don't forget about that. My buddies at Adrenaline Fundraising and my buddies at Marion Plumbing. Thanks again for your loyalty, for your encouragement, for watching and listening every week. And hope you have a great week. We look forward to seeing you next time. We'll see you then. Thanks.